63 no-go list of Zepbound foods to seriously stay away from on your Tirzepatide weight loss journey. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have lost over 113 pounds the last almost 3 years of my life being on Zepbound, Mounjaro, and Tirzepatide compound currently. And on today's episode, I want to deep dive into no-go foods. A couple disclaimers. One, not medical advice. Always talk to your own healthcare provider. Assemble your own Avengers team of dietitians, therapists, healthcare providers to help you on your journey. If you can't afford it, there's some awesome free resources here on YouTube. Number two, I have transformed of having these rigid lists we're going to go through, and common sense must be applied to these along the journey. And so I'm going to give a bunch of caveats. It's a no-go list, but we can't do absolutes here. If it's black and white, there's got to be some shades of gray in here, which is why you need to talk to your healthcare provider, because we are all different and obesity is a wide hoop to jump through. Okay, first up, pepper jack cheese, y'all. I love pepper jack cheese. It's a no-go for me and has been on particularly higher doses, because the higher fat content is a couple of, these all fall into different buckets as to why they are no-go. For me, pepper jack cheese on day 5, which is half-life dose, works really well. Like day 5, day 6, day 7, because it's half-life dose on day 5 for Zepbound, Mounjaro, and Tirzepatide compound. So I actually can have it then. But no, 24 to 48 hours after my shot, that's when I feel peak side effects, which are diarrhea, constipation, nausea, and vomiting. Most common gastrointestinal issues. The spiciness from the pepper jack, I don't do spice very well. And then the high fat content from the cheese, boom! Blowout diarrhea, baby. That's just me. You do you. Cheddar cheese also falls in that same category, but there's not the spice of the cheese. So I'm lumping. The cheese stands alone, honey. The cheese stands alone on our weight loss journey. Next up, bacon. So these next ones fall into the category. This video might be a little crass. And to slip and slide. If you're not laughing, then what are we doing here? That is very crass. Diarrhea is not a joking matter. It's very serious here. But bacon, I love bacon, y'all. I really do. But again, bacon for me, if that will just, because the high fat meats, like Arby's, we have the meats, bacon, hamburger, ribeye. Y'all, I was on a hot date. I looked beautiful. I looked stunning. I was going out with the Count. We were ready to go. Where's my cute outfit photo? That's really not my cute outfit photo, but pretend it is. Pretend I'm wearing my cute outfit. I had a ribeye steak. The way I was sprinting and sweating because I thought I was going to poop my skirt. That is so crass. My mother would be horrified that I'm saying that on the internet, but here we are. So just be mindful if you have an aversion to higher fat meats like I do. Perhaps I love lower fat content meats like 99% lean chicken or 99% lean ground turkey, or just even leaner beef than hamburger, having a higher, a leaner cut of the hamburger, great. Like 96, 97% all day, honey. So I'm still getting my protein in. I don't have that issue with fish or shrimp. Like the leaner meats fare very well for me in terms of side effects, particularly that 24 to 48 hour window after my shot. In my free encouragement group, countessofshopping.com/group, we have a free injection tracker to help, and you can track your own, it's a printable, and on my website too, of your side effects. So you know exactly where you stand and around the time frame in which that happens for you, because there's an arc of it that's a little bit different for each person. Ribeye, Colby Jack cheese, Five Guys. I have been on this medication for almost 3 years. In January, it'll be 3 years. And friends, I had Five Guys on Zepbound 15 milligrams before I switched over to the compound. Shortly after my shot, that 24 to 48 hour window, whoa. And I've been on it for almost 3 years, to give some context on it. So just keeping that in mind with it. Now, next, like things that spike my blood sugar: chips, cookies, cinnamons, cakes, cupcakes, muffins, donuts, ice cream, croissants. Those things spike my blood sugar. I am very sensitive to those. Like I can feel it the way that Mounjaro, Zepbound, and Tirzepatide compound, I have not been on those all at the same time. They're all the same thing. But just at varying points because of the shortage, makes my blood sugar like I feel very, very jittery after having those. I just can't. They're no-goes for me. And also they too cause like nausea badly for me. My body does not react well to them. Does other people's bodies react well to them? Sure. Some people can have these. I can have these. Like with upcoming holiday season, I will be indulging in Cinnabons for Christmas Day and a bunch of Christmas cookies, but in smaller portion control quantities. And it's not like I'm feeling deprived, because that's not it at all. The beautiful part of being on this journey with GLP-1 medication is I actually feel so fulfilled. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm one of those people that can have a bite of something and be like, okay, I'm full. My husband and I recently, one of his treats was taking him to Bergdorf's because he did really well with school. And one of the awesome things that we got to do was go to Bergdorf's, and we ordered a tea tray, and it had all of these sweets. It had savory and sweets on there. And him and I, it was awesome. Like, we took little bites of things, and he's like, Mom, I don't really like that. I'm like, you don't have to eat it. We don't have clean plate club here at the Countess of Shopping Home. And if I do want to save something, I will save something and get a doggy bag or put it in a container so it doesn't waste. But I don't force feed my kid or myself either. And a lot of those sweets I did not eat. I was like, no, thank you. Like, they were delicious. It just didn't make my stomach feel great. Now, I wouldn't be a good friend if I didn't give one of the go foods in the midst of the no-go foods. And 100% it's BIOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough. It's my supplement I have taken for the last 2+ years. I recommend it all the time because it helps with the 7 types of magnesium in it, with things like constipation. I don't have a regularity issue. I don't have constipation anymore because of taking this. I was taking a magnesium with 1 type of magnesium in it. This has 7. So it helps support things, helps support regularity, helps support sleep. If you're wide-eyed and bushy-tailed in the middle of the night because of hormonal changes, because of the medication, try BIOptimizers, obviously before taking any supplement, talk to your healthcare provider, but highly recommend BIOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough. Helps support regularity, helps support sleep, helps support muscle function, helps support mood. I mean, there's so many different things that it helps support too. You can use the discount code QUEEN, QUEEN. I will also put the hyperlink down in the description link below to get your discount savings, particularly with the holidays coming up. There's a lot of sales happening, so save that money, honey. Highly recommend. Highly, highly, highly recommend, particularly if you are having constipation. It is one of my go foods. Okay, back to no-go foods. Some of the no-go foods, and make sure you stay till the end. We're going to talk about more about constipation, the riveting topic of constipation. But it's true. I mean, with GLP-1 medications, diarrhea, constipation, nausea, and vomiting happen. Sweetened coffee. For me, it's not just, well, it's the sweetened coffee part, but it's coffee in general. A couple of things. I get jittery with too much caffeine in general, but I found that coffee, again, potential blowout diarrhea, of where it causes stomach issues for me, or nausea. I haven't had vomiting. I vomited twice on the medication, but it was because of fried foods, which we're going to talk about. But the coffee component more so makes me like, stuff comes out afterwards. It does not feel good. So I have decaf coffee now. I have half calf, like half decaf, half caffeinated, but sweetened in there. If I got one of those amazing Starbucks drinks or a Dunkin' Donuts drink, it'd whack out my blood sugar, and the coffee component of it, I might not make it home. I know that sounds so gross, but I'd rather be real with you. Hello, we're 8 minutes into this video. If I can't be real with you, then what are we doing here? Okay, keeping it real. Brownies, same thing. It's the sugar component in it that really gives me a very upset stomach. If I have too much sugar, like, I know I can have a couple of bites of a sweet, I'll savor it, I'll enjoy it, and I'll put it down and either save it for later. I have a cabinet now for my like sweet cabinet. It's up so my kid won't take my stuff. I'm like, it's mine. But for things that I don't finish. So I don't feel the need. My 300+ pound body, former self, is like, you have to finish it. No, I don't. There's no shame in that game of savoring and enjoying and going slowly. And for me, the word that I have when I do have things that are off my meal plan, again, there's no absolutes. And this is where common sense sometimes isn't so common, of you've got to figure out what works well for you. And if it's triggering you, and if you're having, for example, blowout diarrhea, look at what you ate in the last 24 hours and talk to your healthcare provider about it. If you're having severe constipation, are you having enough leafy green vegetables, fruits, things like that? Or are you having just packaged stuff, which, hello, I have packaged stuff too. There's no judgment in that. But reverse engineering what is causing the affliction. So to say. And my non-medical talk of where you should be talking to your healthcare provider, my non-medical talk. Milkshakes, they do bring all the boys to the yard. My milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. They do bring all the boys to the yard, but they also bring the poop to the body. No, it's the sugary content again for me. So can you see the pattern recognition of sugary things? Next, Wendy's Frosties, same thing. Too sugary for me potentially causes diarrhea. I know other people that have the opposite effect of it. If it doesn't cause diarrhea for them, it causes constipation for them or really bad nausea. A lot of people have nausea. It's quite common actually. And if you're having too much nausea, talk to your healthcare provider about Zofran or some sort of prescriptive pill that is anti-nausea. Chick-fil-A fries, KFC fried chicken, fried foods. That causes me issues. I have to be on day 5, which is half-life dose, day 5, day 67, usually to have fried foods like that. Like I would love a bucket of chicken. I love KFC chicken, honey, but it does not, it repeats. In the words of Sophia Petrillo, it repeats on me. That's a no-go. No-go for Zepbound foods, Tirzepatide foods. Frappuccinos, no, even the low sugar ones for me that they make, it's still because of the coffee in it. And if you don't have that caffeine of where it like, what's that movie where she's like, I see right through you. If you don't have that issue from coffee, then you're golden, right? Again, this is where common sense has to be applied. We're all different. Things are going to be different. For me, the coffee component, that is one of my triggers. Big Mac. We are a Big Mac family. We love Big Macs, but they don't love me. My family can eat Big Macs no problem. They don't have them often. I don't know, maybe once or twice a year. When the Monopoly thing was going on with the Big Mac things, that was like, oh, let's go get one. I was like, no thanks, I'll pass. No thanks. I cannot. And also the thought of it now kind of grosses me out. Like I used to eat those things so much. No thanks, not anymore. McDonald's McChicken sandwich. I used to get my chicken sandwiches often with extra mayonnaise on it. It kind of grosses me out now. Sulfur burps. Who's had sulfur burps? I have not had sulfur burps, but I want these to help you because a lot of people do in my free encouragement group, and we talk about belching often. In a very ladylike, dainty way of manners of Emily Post. We talk about burps all the time. No, just making sure you're paying attention. Sulfur burps. Sulfur burps are where you belch and it smells like eggs. Can you imagine like just being like, oh, you're at a meeting with a business colleague, you're dressed in your 3-piece suit and you're like ready to do business, honey. And you're like under your breath, like trying to hold in a sulfur burp and it just expels eggs. P-U. Reverse engineer what you've had. Have you actually had eggs? That can contribute to making sulfur burps worse. These things can make sulfur burps worse. Eggs, pork, bacon, sausage, milk, like iced coffees, because of the dairy. Dairy can make it worse. Yogurts, cheese, because of the dairy can make it worse. Beans, like black beans, pinto beans, navy beans, like lay off the beans for a hot second. Sulfur breakdown is higher with peas, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale, cauliflower, broccoli. Did the Countess just say don't eat broccoli? Let's rewind back. What I said was it's the higher sulfur content for broccoli, these vegetables, peas, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale, cauliflower, and broccoli. That can make sulfur burps worse. Am I telling you not to eat broccoli? Not exactly. Broccoli is super high in nutrients and in fiber, and we need fiber. Studies show over and over and over and over and over again for our GLP-1 weight loss journey. We need fiber, baby. We need fiber. But if you're having this particularly around 24 to 48 hours after your shot, maybe hold off on these. Maybe have it on day 6, day 7. Like if your shot's on Monday, maybe have it on Saturday or Sunday. I'm not saying you got to go without cauliflower and broccoli for the rest of your life. I'm just saying until you make it through the pocket of that. For me, my side effects all have eventually subsided as my body gets acclimated, adjusted to having GLP-1 medication, right? And so I'm not saying don't ever have broccoli for forever. To me, that's like completely not common sense because there's so many nutritional values with kale and cabbage. It's for the pocket of the sulfur burps, particularly if you've titrated up a dose. For me, I always saw the first week, after week, 2 weeks, sometimes even 3 weeks after titrating up a dose, definitely there was more increase in side effects and for longer periods. So maybe you don't have these and acclimate them back on day 6 and day 7 or day 5, day 6, day 7, play with it, but also see if, you know, a month into it, if that's different and try to reintroduce it, right? We've got to have fiber. We've got to. And so this is where the part of this video of like absolutes, I have worked so hard on diet culture and healing unhealthy perspective with food from coming from 300 pounds with a very disordered perspective of food to now losing 113 pounds and doing things like weight training, doing things like riding horses. Like my perspective very much has changed. So don't take this of the Countess of Shopping said not to have broccoli, so I'm not having it. Wrong, boo. No, we need to use common sense. We need to have, what is it? I can't think of the word. What is it? I was going to say judiciousness. It's not judiciousness. That's not a word. We need to like use good judgment. Like just use good judgment. We know that there is the sulfur breakdown is higher with these. Use good judgment around it. Higher sulfur content has garlic, onions, leeks, and chives. Honey, rock on with your leeks. Rock on with your chives. Put them all over your baked potatoes if you want. As my UK friends, they're jacket potatoes. Put extra chives on your jacket potatoes, but they do have a higher sulfur content. So maybe hold off 24 to 48 hours afterwards. Things that can cause more burps, and particularly if you're having sulfur burps, you don't want to have more burps on the sulfur burps. Sparkling water. Y'all, I'm obsessed with Pellegrino. Pellegrino, call me, or Perrier for a sponsorship. I drink both of them. I do love a good Pellegrino in the glass bottle. Kind of obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with sparkling water. Obsessed. It is one of my favorite things. But I would ixnay on the sparkling water, if I was burping, sulfurs. Carbonated energy drinks or other carbonated beverages like Diet Cokes. Y'all, I love Diet Coke. People asked me the other day, they're like, do you still drink Diet Cokes? Yes, I do. A crispy Diet Coke from McDonald's. Ooh, I still order a large and I'll have like 3 sips. I still love it. It just doesn't, I get full off of it. I used to drink 3 of those Diet Coke larges from McDonald's 3 times a day. I drink 3 of them. Now I can have, I don't know, maybe a third of it. And then I'm like, I'm good. Like, but I'll still order a large. And if you try to chintz me on that, if my husband tries to order me a small, I'm like, don't you dare. Don't you even try to shortchange my Diet Coke. That is also, by the way, clearly more healing is needed. That is something from my past of weighing 300 pounds, like having the shortage of like food insecurity and things like that, of like stuff getting taken away for drinks and beverages and food. To me, that's very much a signal. I'm like, something to work on my Avengers team with my therapist of why I have this reaction of like, why are you ordering? Like, I get very like, ugh. Like, it's okay. Take it down a notch. Take it easy, lady. Okay, next one. Oh, oof, oof. My makeup artist and who does my hair and makeup for some of my things my events that I do, we always joke about Home Alone of like, woof, Buzz's girlfriend. These next ones are Buzz's girlfriends from Home Alone. Oof. Thousand Island dressing. I love Thousand Island dressing, but the fat content of it, things that are high fat like that, like not just Thousand Island dressing, but like Blue Trees dressing, ranch, honey mustard. The dressings for me can cause sometimes diarrhea, constipation, nausea, vomiting. One of the 4 gastrointestinal issues. Alcohol mixed drinks. Wine, liquor, beer, those can cause spike in blood sugar. It's not the best. And also because of the delay in gastric emptying with this whole list, it can cause problems. And so laying off the booze for sure in your first few months, maybe reintroducing it in. But I don't like to use superlatives, but in this case I do. I always like to speak from a place of my experience, strength, and hope. Since I don't give medical advice, like this is my journey, take for what you want and leave the rest. I haven't had a sip of alcohol. In January, it will be 20 years. So I cannot speak on this, but people in my group can. And so I can glean from what they say, and what they typically say is, what I hear most from people is they used to drink, I don't know, 2 or 3 drinks on a Friday, and now they can have maybe half of one, or they get very intoxicated, or they get very nauseous feeling or vomit. So be gingerly with it. Like, don't pound one the first time out of the gate, particularly if you have just titrated up your dose. And for sure, if you're a single lady, all the single ladies, Be smart. Put your hands up. When you're drinking out and about, like just be very smart. Don't be by yourself. Like be very smart when drinking. Safety drinking. Okay, coffee, Coke, Diet Coke, juice, energy drink. Those things, they'll fly right through me. Like I'll breathe and then I'll be out on the other side. And that's gross. And I don't like to live that way. I like to live with my bowels in check. This has become quite crass, and I'm really not trying to make it crass. I'm trying to make it funny. So hopefully you're taking the funny side out of it and still thinking I'm a lady, because I am a lady. Okay, next, spiking my blood sugar. Things that spike my blood sugar because of GLP-1 medication. And other people who are on Wegovy, semaglutide, Ozempic, it's very similar to me. We'll say the same thing, even though I've never been on those, but sweetened yogurt, white bread, white rice, white pasta, jam, pudding. Y'all, I love me some butterscotch pudding. I love butterscotch pudding. My grandmother, who had a family recipe with butterscotch pudding, oh my gosh, it's to die for. But it's too much of a blood sugar spike for me. I really don't feel well after that. And it's not, to me, it's not worth having my blood sugar spike that much. That's a no-go food. A ZEPBOUND, Tirzepatide, no-go food. Okay, next. The BRAT diet. In a previous video, I called it the BART diet, and somebody got very angry with me. I was like, I'm Homer Simpson. I'm Bart Simpson. And they're like, it's not Bart Simpson, it's BRAT. And I wanted to be like, yes, name it, claim it, honey. So it's the BRAT diet, not the BART diet. But I do secretly kind of like calling it the BART diet. It makes you think of Bart Simpson. Again, cultured, well-refined lady. I do have class, I promise I do. Having something, if you are super diarrhea, because you've overindulged in some of these things that I've shared with you that maybe don't overindulge in, banana, rice, applesauce, toast. That is the BRAT diet to help, and it helps with like slow down diarrhea. Cha-cha-cha, when you slide in the first and you feel a funny burst, diarrhea. It's really not that funny. It kind of is. But bananas, it's funny because I've been there. Like I can laugh about it. It's not funny if you haven't been there, but I've been there a lot of, almost 3 years of my life. And so bananas, rice, applesauce, toast. Did I just say earlier about rice, not having rice? Like this is where things you need to use common sense of what applies for you. If you are constipated, would I recommend having these foods? No, these are going to help bind you. Bind thyself. So be mindful of that, of maybe lay off the applesauce if you're already constipated, right? And if you're constipated, for sure you should check out BIOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough. Use the discount code QUEEN. So these are some of mine. I love also hearing y'all's too. You guys also have hysterical stories that are really, really funny. I love it. Some of mine have been when I travel, which I travel quite a bit. Like when I travel up to QVC, and HSN when I'm on the show, I don't have control all the time with my food of like where I'm going, or if I'm even just driving up there, stopping up after a show. I really try to get home because I want to be home from my 10-year-old, the Duke. And so I don't like to linger. So I try to get on the road. And so when I'm doing that with my foods, sometimes I don't have control over stuff. And so I have had that where I'm traveling and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having a side effect of GLP-1 medication. Where's the nearest exit? I've had that. I was leaving an event and I had Taco Bell. I really wanted, not a chalupa. What was it? It was something from Taco Bell, which, honey, if you're having some bonding issues, go to Taco Bell. That will just fly right out of you. And I was like in, no joke, I was in Amish country, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was like so beautiful. I saw these horses, an Amish family, they were farming, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am about ready to lose my bananas here. So some of these I laugh, but it's not funny. It's not funny, particularly if it's like work situations. I have had that, which is why when I do like big things, like for work stuff, like when I was on Oprah, you know what I didn't do? I was really, really mindful the day of I was really smart with my food choices of things that I knew wouldn't irritate me, that would fill my stomach, that wouldn't jack with my blood sugar, like important things like that. I'm really, really mindful of what I'm consuming 24 hours before. Why 24 hours? Because of the delayed gastric emptying. It's delayed, it's slower. And so I need to be mindful of those choices, particularly when I travel. I do like to take things with me like my Clean Simple Eats protein shakes or my Built bars, things like that, like protein bars. and it just helps. So to bring stuff with me. For sure, travel, I do take with me BIOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough, and they have some other things like mass limes, their microbiome breakthrough, which is prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics. They have a bunch of stuff that's really awesome too. So I hope that this list has been helpful for you. Excuse me. Of your 63 no-go foods, but they can be go for you, and they don't have to be gone for forever. It's one of the things that I've learned in my journey too, is as my doses change and time away from when I have that higher dose, then I can incorporate some things back in. I feel for me on my journey from being over 300 pounds on a very disordered perspective with food to somebody who's really, really worked on that and to do some really cool things as a result of working on that, that I can eat anything. I can't have it in the quantities that I want or copious amounts, but I can eat anything. Sometimes there's consequences for that. If I have too much, even just a bite, for me, like, I've had things that I've had a bite of and it's been fine. And I'm really glad that I had a bite of certain things. For example, my family has a recipe for a cake. It's been in our family for like 5 generations, this recipe, and my son made it. I didn't want to have too much because I knew it would hurt my tummy because of all the ingredients in that family recipe. And plus I helped him make it, so I knew like exactly what was in it. But I had a bite of it because I wanted my kid to see that I don't have a restriction on food. I want him to know that I'm enjoying and appreciating. And I had like 2 or 3 bites, well, like 3 or 4 bites of it. But I knew, I was like, enough. Like if I have more, I'm physically going to make myself sick. And I think that's the whole boundary of all these things. I joked a lot throughout this video, but the serious tone of it is being mindful for my own body. And that is going to change for me. I'll use my I statements. It has changed for me throughout this journey, for sure. And things at the beginning I could not eat, I can eat now, just in smaller quantities. So it's an evolution. Learn your body. That's why I suggest getting that free printable from my free encouragement group and checking in with the free group. If you haven't checked in today in the free encouragement group, go do so. It is totally free. And there's thousands and thousands and thousands of amazing individuals in that group that will help lift you up, encourage you. And the words of Josh Groban, you raise me up. We will raise you up, honey. As long as you're nice. If you're not nice, not so much. We won't raise you up at all. We'll raise you down. No, I'm just kidding. It is, I'm joking. It's a very positive, loving, amazing group. It motivates me to do bigger, badder, faster, stronger, like in a great way, and focusing on my health journey of where I want to be, which this year for 2026, I have lofty goals, lofty goals. So my beautiful friends, to put it in a nutshell here, being mindful of what your side effects are, diarrhea, constipation, nausea, vomiting, and then starting to tailor your meal plan and your foods toward that. If you find something is a no-go, things that are associated in that biosphere, stay away from those. And if it again is 24 to 48 hours after your shot, maybe incorporating it back in at day 5, day 6, day 7. Or like if your shot's on Monday afternoon, have it Monday morning, or have it Sunday or Saturday. Okay. Our discount code for BIOptimizers is Queen, Queen. I'll link that down in the description link below. Our emoji of the day today is going to be a giraffe, because I absolutely love giraffes. And so that tells me that you made it this far in the video, bestie. And that means stick your neck out. I love giraffes. They're awesome. And I do emojis of the day to get to know you better because I care. The pattern recognition of seeing your name over and over and over is how I have thousands of besties, is literally from emojis of the day. It's amazing. And then also with giraffe, it's my bat signal to pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, I will uplift you in positive thought, as all are welcome at the Countess of Shopping table. My sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. Check on Monday for your Monday encouragement email. The Count has some amazing things in this week. Ooh, if you didn't look already from this past Monday, go back in your email and check. And for upcoming Monday, be patiently waiting Monday morning for that sucker to come out too. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.